Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW 3 historical battle for you today as we continue with this historical battle week, and we're here in day 5 with another battle, and this is the Battle of Gebora, fought between the French and the Spanish and Portuguese in 1811 during the Peninsular War, which obviously is focused on the Iberian Peninsula. But yes, this was a battle fought on the 19th of February 1811, if you want to be precise. So we're actually kind of close, you know, to its anniversary, whatever like year that would be nearly that would be over 200 years. But yeah, very, very close. And this was in fact a French victory. And obviously in the last historical battle we saw with the with NTW3, we saw that the French did get defeated by the Holy Roman Empire with their huge cavalry armies. And in today's battle there is a huge French cavalry army. So I mean, the French clearly not making any mistakes this time when it comes to cavalry to a fight. We have an entire army, this Soult army here, made up of all cavalry. You see it all arraying here. It is a huge army. We then have an infantry corps in behind. This is made up of a MacDonald's army here, like MacDonald's corps, and then we have, I think, another Soult army over here, which is like just made up of infantry, and then we have all the way over here, somewhere back here as well, oh, maybe another Soult army as well. So it looks like we have plenty of troops here being led by Marshal Soult himself. I mean, he was one of the main commanders in the Iberian campaign. He did have to deal with the British, the Spanish a lot, and he was mainly down dealing with the siege of Cadiz during most of the war. But obviously as it went on, he did face Wellington quite a bit, especially around the Pyrenees and when the British did invade France as well. But it seems as though today there are no Portuguese. Actually, at this battle, it's going to be 4 Spanish armies against 4 French armies, and we'll have to see who comes out on top. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. Do you think it's going to be the Spanish? Do you think it's going to be the French? Let us find out in this one. It is certainly going to be an interesting one, that is for sure. And it's nice to see the Spanish again. We haven't had a historical battle with them in a little while, and certainly no custom battles either with the Spanish for a little while. I think the last one might have been to do with the Spanish cavalry had an absolute heyday against the French infantry. So we'll have to see if they can have the same sort of effect today. And you can see there are cavalry setting up here. They certainly, I think, may have less cavalry, but we can't see all of theirs. But I mean, if there's a whole cavalry army for the French, that is certainly, you imagine, going to be a disadvantage, because I doubt the Spanish would have brought a whole cavalry army themselves. Unlikely. But yes, Hussars here getting shelled by Spanish artillery. That's all the way back there, being protected by some Spanish cav itself. It looks like the Hussars are going to go for a charge here, perhaps. But they are going to go straight on in. Or maybe not. They're going to just scare off the Spanish cav. I mean, honestly, the Spanish... Oh, no, there is another French cav coming in here. Look at this. Hussars coming in and catching up with these, this light cav here off the Spanish. It looks like they're going to rout it very easily there. Really well done by the French. And now there is Spanish cav coming over to assist. And the French, though, are going to quickly get out of there and retreat to their own lines. Very smartly done there by the French, that's for sure. But in doing so, in this charge, they did actually reveal a lot of the Spanish forces. And here you go. Lots of Spanish troops starting to be revealed. I mean, they may disappear soon again with the Spanish artillery as well. You can see that. This is the artillery that's responsible for shelling the lines at the moment. And that's just disappeared. But yes, the French soon will be able to match up with this Spanish army here. I mean, there's plenty of infantry moving up. We've got all sorts of infantry back here. We've got Polish infantry as well. These boys pretty good. And they also some pretty mighty fine uniforms, if I may so say myself. The Poles probably one of my favourite looking units. They do look awesome. But yeah, starting to appear. Lots of Spanish cav. And it looks like the French also just dominate this hill over here. I mean, they have all this cavalry, and you can see the infantry behind just waiting patiently. I mean, it looks like it's getting shelled a bit, but not too badly. Any like really heavy cav? It doesn't look like it. It looks like dragoons are the heaviest thing around. Our hussars and also chasseurs, cheval as well. But yeah, nothing like cuirassier level or anything more than that really, which is a shame. Always nice to see some cuirassiers, but a lot of NTW3 players that I've seen recently do favour more like dragoons, because they're a bit more mobile and a bit more effective than cuirassiers, who, even though they look awesome and they're the heavy cav, they're not necessarily that effective. But it does seem like they are now pushing forward. But if you're enjoying seeing NTW3 on the channel, I would like to see some more. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're on here, and a comment to show your support. As always, guys, it really does help out the channel, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Massive thanks to you guys. NTW3, one of the favourite things on the channel. Always nice to see you guys with your like comments about what you want to see next and just all your support generally for it. Yeah, so we've got some Legate here setting up. They've all got their they all look like they're in sort of like winter uniforms here today, getting ready for the cold campaign that is to come. I mean, they're fighting in February. In fairness, probably still freezing in February in Spain. Probably warmer than Britain though. In Britain in February it's just cold, wet and rainy. Yeah, the Spanish setting up here, we can now see a lot of Spanish troops. And it looks like they are sort of getting positioned. I don't think either side is just quite ready to set up and go in for an attack. I don't know, the French though are not slowing down in these columns here. So they may be about to go in, but we'll just fast forward for the moment. And we'll see what happens. I mean, these Voltigeurs here will soon be in range, I imagine, of the... yep, there we go. The first shots are being fired, and it is going to be some Voltigeurs just harassing the line infantry back there of the Spanish. The Spanish choosing not to bring any of their own lights by the looks of it. They're just going to go without. Well, certainly over there. Over here, we seem like we've got some lights. It's a big skirmish unit, this unit, actually. Jeez, this is huge. Artillery as well, still shelling away. I kind of like the Spanish uniforms on their artillery crew. Like the bearskin on the top. It kind of gives me a bit of an Imperial Guard vibe. Like Imperial Guard artillery. But yeah, you can see the Spanish definitely taking up more of a defensive position. How they just like set up their guns, like in their formations, like they are. I feel like they're ready to hold this line. They're not going to be making any moves towards the French. And I think the French are the ones that have to attack. I think if it goes in history, the French have to make the attack. And it certainly seems like all the cavalry they brought as well, they're going to be offensive. They're not going to play defensive with all this cavalry that they have available. I mean, this flank over here as well seems very open at the moment. No real infantry being seen just yet. So the cavalry might be able to have a field day here. Yeah, it looks like the infantry, if anything, is going to be on this hill back here where the cavalry is. Like these, I don't know what exactly this unit is, but I mean, I imagine they've probably got artillery on this hill, infantry on this hill. And this is where they'll hold. But we'll see. The Spanish now replying with a few shots from their skirmishes. But nothing too exciting just yet. No line battles just yet. But we do, it looks like have a cavalry fight going all the way out on this flank over here. This is interesting. Oh no, it's not cavalry, it's infantry. Infantry fight. There's just two lone infantry units here that just run into each other. Don't know if this was part of the plan where they knew they were each of them were here. But a bit of a bayonet fight. Early days. And they've already got a bayonet fight. It's kind of surprising. Usually bayonet fights and NTW for a bit more of a desperate charge than anything, unless it's grenadiers. I imagine the Spanish will lose this. I don't know. The French usually are relatively pretty good in combat. Bar the Russians, they're probably the best at it. We've got cavalry coming up, in fact, to support. Look, we've got some like little hussar unit that's going to charge in, and already morale's not looking great for this infantry unit. But it's going to charge in. Here it comes, and they're going to break that unit really quickly. Really nicely done there by the French. Really good strategy. Always pin down a unit in melee like that with the infantry, and then get cavalry coming in, hammer and anvil. Just like any Total War game, and you then just like you instantly rout it. And there you go. I guess first blood to the French. They routed a unit. Well, actually, they already routed a unit anyway with cavalry, so it was already first blood. Yeah, I just thought about that. I was like, nope, there's already seen combat. More Spanish skirmishing going on over here. But this battle was such a catastrophic defeat for the Spanish, the Battle of Gebora, that actually nearly cost the Spanish the entire army of the Extremadura, I think is how you pronounce the name. But basically the entire like Spanish center army was like nearly lost. So hopefully the Spanish can put up a bit more of a fight. And we're about to see some Chasseurs Cheval go in. Going against a lance unit here of the Spanish. Looks like the Spanish are going to come out victorious in this one. French did get routed, but also like the volleys behind from the Spanish infantry aren't going to do any good for the Spanish camp. But the Spanish now going in, retaliating, taking out the French lights with their light cavalry. Now the French might have a chance to rout this Spanish cav. The Spanish actually did keep their cavalry alive. Seeing some dragoons going in, they are going to try and counter the French cav. They have routed all of these Voltigeurs here though, and the Spanish have had their cav routed as well. Well done by the French there. So, I mean, Spanish probably came out with that one on better terms. I mean, they routed the French cav, and they also routed 3 French lights and lost 1 cavalry. Kind of better odds for them. And we're now seeing Spanish cavalry on this side going in. They're going in after artillery. Really good thing to go for. We're seeing them taking out that light, that foot artillery there. Really well done. They're going to rout. They're getting absolutely descended on by dragoons. But yeah, that is costly for the French. Losing artillery this early on, big loss. It may return. It's got one gun left, but they lost 2 of them. It's a big loss. Seeing look at this unit. It's a police general here. This is a general unit. It's kind of cool. Never seen this guy before. That's a cool unit. Got lots of dragoons here though. And also chasseurs cheval. We're seeing now big columns of infantry move up here. Look at this. 120 man units. 123. Yeah, these are big units being led by MacDonald, Scotsman that's fighting for the French. Just reinforcing that alliance between the French and the Scots. So they just hate the British that much that they'll fight together even then. Even though the Scots are technically under the rule of the Brits at that time. Poles also here. Yeah, again, after a few like little flurries of fighting here and there, both sides quite happy just to sit back, just pound some shots into each other, just test each other's strengths and weaknesses. I mean, the French now setting up their artillery here. I imagine the French artillery is much better than the Spanish, just because the French artillery was very good. Napoleon was an artilleryman himself. Of course, he made sure his artillery was well equipped, well trained, I imagine. But we'll fast forward a little bit anyway, because it seems like, again, nothing quite going on just yet. Too much anyway. Gebora is taking a little bit of time to get going, but I'm sure once it gets going, it's going to get chaotic. I am told that it gets very chaotic later on as this battle goes on, so definitely worth sticking around to see how this one ends up going. But yeah, as you can see now, these cavalry all pushing forward. They've now found this, I guess this is the final Spanish army we haven't found yet. But yeah, long line of infantry there. Got some cavalry out on the flanks, more artillery here, and infantry. Oh my gosh. Huge units out here of Spanish infantry, and the artillery as well. This is like a huge battery that's been formed up here. And then we got cavalry going in. I do apologize, we did kind of miss it, but we have seen some chasseurs cheval go in. They got routed, but they also did rout the Spanish cav. So I guess a decent trade. The French have more cav to lose, I think, because obviously they have a full army of it. But again, you need to be careful. You don't want to just throw it all away. But I guess maybe an okay trade. It's going to run straight off the map, so it's going to be no more use. It's a shame. That's the risk fighting at the edge of the map, I guess. They is going to see that sort of thing happen. Don't want to see it happen with huge amounts of infantry. You've got Laguerre here, line infantry. I mean, a big push on this flank may work, but there's lots of guns out here. It could be a big risk. Again, that artillery still breaking. Just running away slowly. Looks like we are seeing a big push over here by the French. I don't know if the yes, these are all hidden. These are grenadiers, Polish grenadiers as well, actually. So let's have a quick look at these guys. Yeah, Polish grenadiers and a lot of French line infantry all pushing right. These guys really pushing right now. And they're going to try and get into this forest by the looks of it. There's already a French line infantry up here, which I'm sure the Spanish are aware of, because they had a fight in the forest. But yeah, so the French pushing wide, and they're going to try and, I guess, flank round the Spanish, which is always a good idea. There is already cavalry as well out here. We got some hussars. These guys are probably just looking for the Spanish troops to see whether they're doing the same thing. Yeah, that looks like the move of the French currently. They're going to try and push on the flanks hard. Certainly that right flank of the the French right flank, Spanish to left. And lots of cavalry in the centre with the Spanish right now. Look like they're trying to just match up with the French. I mean, I don't know if they can with the numbers that are being brought by the French, but we'll see. Yeah, lots of Spanish cav, that is for sure. They look like light dragoons, but in yellow they may be light dragoons. They may be hussars. I'm not sure entirely. But yeah, more like just musket fire going on. But it looks like the French look like they're coming forward for a big cavalry push right now. No, they changed their mind. We are seeing a bit of skirmishing here and there. It looks like cavalry as well coming forward again, trying to just rout these voltigeurs that have returned. It looks like we might be able to see a cavalry charge here in the center. Hussars are rushing forward. Going in for these lancers. Yeah, here they go. In they go. And it looks like, Spanish get broken, but the French also break as well. I think that may have just been because they're being shot by their own line infantry. You need to be careful of that when you're going in with your cavalry. Make sure your infantry is not going to get any friendly fire. A long line, this is definitely line infantry, or maybe light infantry. But they're not like in a skirmish formation, they're just in a long drawn out line. Or maybe they are just shooting, maybe it is line infantry. They're just shooting at these hussars. I think that might be the case. There's a very long, stretched out formation going on there. But yeah, still not a lot going on. All the shooting coming from Spain, and it's just like skirmishers shooting at, I don't know, maybe routing horsemen right now. I think they must be out of skirmish range. Maybe not in the center, but everywhere else. But yeah, we'll keep fast forwarding for now. It seems like I said, not much in the way going on. Looks like they're just patiently waiting. The French, looks like the first move they're going to make is probably here. This is looking like the most likely place of an offensive right now. It's 5 units, one being a grenadier. It's not a bad move. I think we might be able to see this hussar as well go all the way around the back, and it might try and go and assassinate some generals. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. That is for sure. That hussar is definitely up to something. But yeah, it seems as though, I mean, they've got 4 units here to match. I think the Spanish are very aware. They saw those units just go into the forest here. They're not being fooled by it. They know there's guys over here. Looks also like the guns are facing this direction. Yeah, the guns are facing that direction. Oh, there's a... Oh, is this just the routing Spanish? I think this is the... They just charged into the Spanish unit in here, or is this the one that was routing ages ago? Because they are murdering it just quickly. I'm not sure exactly whether they intended to do that, but yeah, the Spanish are very much aware that they're in there now, for sure. They can't be hidden anymore. Still, again, patiently waiting. MacDonald now is like, I think on this side, MacDonald's going to be playing safe. He's probably thinking, I can see nothing ahead of me, but I know there's a long line of Spanish waiting. Does he push? Is he pushing a concentrated area? I don't know. I think he's got to wait on his allies. Like, the armies over here, I think they've got the beating. The French infantry's probably got the beating of the Spanish. Like right now, you can see as well the Spanish pushing hard by the looks of it onto this tree line. Here we go. The Spanish are going to be in a line battle. Here we go. First line battle getting underway. Prepare, boys. Warm up. Fire. And here we go. Glorious line battle gets underway. And you can smell gunpowder in the air, boys. There you go. I mean, what's it like? 7 units of Spanish against 5 French. Numbers aren't with the French, but quality might be. And also the flank, as you can see here. We have 3 more units coming up, and they are threatening to flank here. And the Spanish already see that and are pulling back. And then obviously you can see another big push here by Soult. He's now moving up, and he's pushing hard on the Spanish here. I think they're trying to come for these guns. Not a bad idea. And you can see the cavalry got some chasseurs cheval. They are preparing to just take these guns. They're going to charge them. Here you go. You see they're trying to form up on the guns. They're going to rush. And it's a perfect time to come and get them. They are horse artillery. It's a good time to try and get these guns. And yeah, they're not going to get them in time, I don't think. Oh, yeah, not going to get there in time. And they're going to crush those guns. Wipe them out. And you can see the Spanish now going to retaliate. There's some cavalry of their own. And I'm sure they don't care if they lose this cavalry now, the French. They took out the artillery. And yeah, there you go. They get broken, but I think that's a small loss. Really, in the grand scheme of things, the artillery being lost is a big, big loss. And we're seeing cavalry fighting across the front now. Big cavalry fight over here. Oh my gosh. The French may be about to lose a lot of cavalry here. This seems like a big, big loss. Yeah, lots of French cav breaking. This is not good. French, I thought, had this, like, the numbers, but maybe they just didn't have the quality. These Spanish cav, just too strong for them, maybe. And look at this. The white uniforms of the Spanish cav reign supreme. And they have infantry support, to be fair, so that's probably why they also won. Yeah, look at that. French cav just been obliterated. And even though they had so much cavalry, even still the French cav is sucking in battle. That's 2 battles in a row. We've seen them struggle. We've seen the remains of the French cav be shifted to the center. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3 units. One of them is a general, though. So they have to be careful. Now MacDonald's without cavalry support. And if he gets solid, I don't know if he's got enough infantry to defend. Yeah, none of these guys can really form square. So the French infantry is equally as vulnerable to cavalry charges as the Spanish, which is always a worry for the French. Poles here, firing in their glorious uniforms. Keep up the good fight, boys. Keep up the good fight. For Poland. What we're seeing here, just basic line infantry all pushing up, lots of it as well. Spanish are kind of out of position on this side. The French have got cavalry in behind. Probably one of the last few rare units of cavalry. Could they maybe rush this French general? I don't know. There is lots of cavalry still milling around for the Spanish. They're going to try it. They're going to have to time it right. They're hidden. Ooh, I don't know. They're not now. They were for a split second. But there you go. The first bit of a flurry of a musket fire and a big carry charge. And you see the Spanish kind of coming out on top, I'd say. You're seeing also a dragoon here that's now being shifted from the right over to the center as well. They're just forming up all the remains of their cavalry, really, which is obviously a big risk of the French, and they're just going to throw it all in one go somewhere. We've got Soult himself here, leading the columns of infantry. Bring them forward, boys. They need some like some young guard or something like that. I mean, at 1811, they are probably all the young guard is getting moved to the eastern front to get ready for Russia. But they could do with some young guard, I'm sure of it. Right now, the young guard in Spain certainly would be very helpful. The Spanish army does have them. They're in their rosters. I don't know in these rosters. But certainly in their general like big roster they have young guard available, and they would be very handy right now. I mean, the grenadiers from Poland, they could also be just a good use. Got some silent muskets over here. Don't know what's exactly going on, but there you go. Spanish still in retreat. I don't know. Maybe they're just preparing to get the French into a position they really want them. I guess they're like, well, we're not happy with the position we've lost. Like in the position we are in now since we've given ground, but I don't know. I think they're going to try and retreat to this hill here. This is a bit of a raised ground. Maybe try and retreat to this. Did that Hussar get routed? I can't see it. Looks like it might have been. I can't see it at all. What's this? No, it's a unit I just don't know. But yeah, I cannot see that French Hussar. That is a real concern. The little sneaky task force is gone. Yeah, I can't see him. He must have gone in and charged someone and just did not succeed. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he's the one all the way out here. There's a routing unit all the way out here, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, it's that Spanish unit all the way out there. I don't know. They're forming up here. These guys look kind of fancy. You know, these Spanish guys here. They got some cool plumes on their hats going on. But yeah, nothing. Again, still giving ground. They're just not wanting to fight the French like that. We refuse. I mean, to be fair, a good position to fight them around would be this village. This could make it pretty tough. I mean, it's been pretty battered already. It's 55% damage. But yeah, might be a place to fight the French. They are actually occupying it right now. Seeing a big long line of Spanish up here now, and they're holding here on this hill. This is a good spot to hold, to be honest. Right at the top of the hill. French have got a long way to come up. The French have got a decent angle from where they are. The French, it's now the time of the French to retreat. I just like that the Spanish army is just so multicolored. Look at this, we've just seen a light blue one, like a navy blue unit, and we've got like a dark blue unit there. More cavalry charging, I can hear it. Oh my god, they're just charging so much infantry. Here we go, dragoons. Are they going to be a bit more successful this time? I don't know. Charging some more infantry though. I mean, here comes the pretty strong Spanish cavalry again. It seems strong. It just defeated so many dragoons last time. Again with the support of more cavalry being broken. Look at this, dragoons being broken. These ones doing a bit better. Routing a lot of Spanish here actually. I mean, now is the time of the French infantry to push forward. They've got to go. I feel. Push forward, get in there. Either into combat or just to like get in the face of the Spanish, give them a few volleys, scare them off. Yeah, the dragoons are slowly getting routed. They've been in prolonged combat, I guess. They're just breaking. You see, they're trying to retreat the remains of them, but yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, all of them broke. Now there's just this general left, I think, to like the cavalry contingent of the French. That's a concern. There's a little dragoon here to return. Yeah, but there's not much. They had a huge cavalry army to start off with, and now, not much. And you can see the Spanish cabs still look really healthy. It looks really elite as well, to be honest. Just look at the helmets. They kind of look almost like guard units. Something like that. Guard, or just like, I don't know, maybe they are dragoons, but they look really strong. Maybe they'll be okay. Maybe these cavalry will return 30 out, 60. I don't know. Some of these other ones might not. Maybe they just need to get some volleys into these into the Spanish cav. Try and break them that way. The French still pushing forward. Spanish again giving ground. But yeah, I mean, even though it was a costly charge, it seems like the Spanish kind of lost out. They lost a lot of infantry units from this, and it's obviously given the French a bit more of the advantage in the firing line. It seems like in the musket battle, it seems like the French are sort of winning. The guns appear under threat, but I mean, to be honest, I'd form these guys up. They've got enough men to protect them, and the cavalry's there to protect the guns as well. But look at this, the infantry getting really close. I guess they're trying to rush this gun. I think they might have to go for a charge. This is all Laguerre, so they've got to be careful. I mean, maybe they could, being Laguerre, they could just gun this cannon down. But none of these units can form square, and the Spanish cav's looking for a fight. Some cavalry has returned. This is good to see. We're gonna need it, but it is looking like this cavalry unit here this cavalry army may be about to bite the dust already, and the French with them be down an army. Big loss. Keep firing, boys, for the Emperor. Napoleon expects your best here today, boys. You have to recreate history. Claim victory once more. More Polish line infantry over here. This is the 4th regiment. Yeah, look at that. Laguerre being broken. It's just not up to the task of taking these guns or this position. The Spanish, to be honest, on these flanks looking pretty strong. I mean, this is a strong Spanish position here. I mean, if they just hold on to this building, which is like kind of like the crux of their left flank, I mean, it's just very secure. You don't need to worry about it. Anything extreme out there. What is out here? That tiny little French unit. I don't know what it's doing here. It doesn't look like it's routed and then returned, but it's 71 out of 79 men. It's just returned, maybe. The Spanish got a good lineup here as well. I mean, they got Spanish infantry and behind the cav. It's just ready to go. Like, if it needs to, it just can just go into action, be called in. Really nice plays by the Spanish. I do wonder whether, and we are now seeing MacDonald is shifting to the aid of his allies. I think he needs to. He needs to shift over here, and then maybe if he can punch through this line here, support like taking this point here. This would be massive, to be honest, for the French. If they can get through here, they could turn the Spanish. I guess it might be the Spanish center right, turn it, and they can make some good do some good damage. The Spanish are all the way out to nearly this red line. We did see like artillery out here somewhere, like around by these this cavalry. Yeah, you can see there's the general here with the stakes. You need to be careful actually. If he turns around, he goes back through those stakes. He may just die. But yeah, there's a lot. Like, the Spanish right actually extends all the way to this red line. The Spanish, I don't know. They seem like it's just like lights getting a bit banged up, but nothing too much. These also look like some pretty professional-looking units here for the Spanish. Don't you know? Could be interesting. What we're seeing out there, Spanish cav just appeared on the left flank. Look, they're going to try and deal with that French unit. Maybe just take it out. This is going to be brutal because they can't form square. So I mean, if the Spanish cav charges, it kills the French infantry. They're going to try and get a shot off on them. I think they are. This is going to be kind of funny to watch. There's probably a bigger fight going on, but you know what? I would just want to see the French get a good volley off on these Spanish cav. Put a brutal volley into their flank. Yes, glorious, glorious. You might break them, you know, or not. Yeah, they go in and break instantly. Ah, what a waste of cavalry by the Spanish there. They literally saw the French and then just formed up next to them. The Spanish long line there, you know, just trying to do its thing. All in their assorted uniforms, representing different parts of Spain. Yeah, they're fighting the hardest. They've got a line, as you can see behind, they have another line of infantry waiting. I mean, they're sort of like, the flanks are kind of set further forward than the center at the moment. The center is kind of giving a bit more ground. These guys can kind of go anywhere. They can kind of either push up, or they can go right and support over the center. They can go left and support the left. But here we go. Seeing, looks like what we've got here, Laguerre coming forward. Oh, so they're rushing the infantry here. They're going to get shot in the flank at the moment. right now by Spanish infantry. This Legare is certainly running a risky business. He needs to get out of here. Or just rush his building, but either or is not a great option. He's been caught out in a terrible spot. The French are going to risk losing this unit, I think. And yeah, they're actually getting charged by Spanish infantry here in their fancy looking uniforms. Oh, they've taken the building. They unoccupied the French. Fair enough. So yeah, the French is getting in there, and looks like the Spanish maybe going to go straight back in and try and take it. Well, I mean, it's pretty banged up. If anyone just fires some artillery in here, it could kill it. But yeah, I guess the Spanish unit, the French unit, sorry, this is going to make it awkward for the Spanish to come and take it back. I thought they held it, but they didn't. They just like left it unoccupied, and the French just walked in and took it. A bit sloppy by the Spanish there. You've got to at least make the French fight for every inch of ground. And here we go, MacDonald now finally pushing forward. Seeing some units getting a bit wavered from this push here by MacDonald, but you know what? I'm happy to see it. The French are kind of struggling, to be honest. They're not making really any ground. They're just dueling with the Spanish. Maybe taking the more losses, but it's hard to see, like the larger losses, but it's hard to tell. It's always sad to see a Pole fall. Always sad. Fight on, men! Kill them all. Kill all the not all the Poles. Kill all the Spanish. The Poles must live. They've got to fight for their country. Yeah, the Spanish here, just charge this unit in. It's Legare, it's not that great in combat. Got more infantry being broken back here. Line infantry that can form square as well. Important units. And they're actually able to like flank the French right now with the Spanish. Like I said, it doesn't seem like they're making too many gains, too many pushes, the French. Well, I say that, and then now, I thought they were going to make a big push. I think MacDonald's making the biggest pushes over here. He's actually kind of making a bit of a headway, but as you can sort of see, his line is sort of further forward. This red line here, but only just. And there still seems like there's plenty of Spanish here. I mean, these troops are fresher, generally in strength and in morale and energy. Generally, these guys not seen any action. Then again, not really much of the French army has seen action, really. And we're about to see a cavalry fight here. Look at this. This is the French general for the cavalry army. He's in the police general. And they have actually routed the French there. And the French have lost this building very quickly. Like I said, it's only Legare. You didn't need to send in anything too special. And they've been kicked out of there very promptly. And well done by the Spanish retaking this building. And now occupy it, Spain. Actually, you know, occupy it. Fought for it. Take it. Hold it. Seen the Poles here looking the wrong way. We've got grenadiers here. Provisional grenadiers. They might do okay. I don't know. Probably not. They are like not. They're like reserve grenadiers, I basically think. But yeah, not looking too great here as well. Legare actually kind of suffering in this line battle here right now. I think being outdone by multiple units. You can see, look at the morale already down a red. It's going straight back up, but yes, I mean the centers as well for the Spanish also not looking great. And this flank here as well. I mean this Navarre unit here is actually getting flanked hard. I don't know why they just don't put it at an angle. Oh, it's getting hit by artillery in the flank as well. Jeez. Yeah, that unit's broken. There you go. 5th line infantry of Navarre broken. I mean, if you put the cavalry general here, this unit here has to just kind of keep an eye on that. Can't form square. That's what he needs to do. And you can see MacDonald now retreating because he's lost his little flank here. I don't know why he doesn't just let's go here. Line infantry. He's got more line infantry here and another one. There's no way to just send these guys to the far left flank to, if he's like short on troops there, or to his flanks. Just support him a little bit more. He's got a little line infantry here as well. Let's return. Yeah, really struggling. I mean, if they get this artillery in the front lines, they may be able to punch some holes into the Spanish infantry, maybe make some breakthroughs. But it just seems like the French are just out of order. They're out of ideas. Like they're just standing here in line at the moment. They're not even going to try and flank anywhere. They tried that earlier on, didn't really work. And they did, I guess, try a little flank and try and go for the try and go for the building, which they did successfully do temporarily. But they're just way out of the depth here. There's what, 7, 8 units here. And they've got to take on at least 10, actually probably more, double that probably. There's so many more units coming in, and they got I thought this was cavalry for a moment. It's not, it's just some lights. But yeah, it's just like almost double the Spanish units here set up around this building. The Spanish left is almost non-existent really. It's all just around that building, which is fine because the French, like, on this side are not pushing hard. They could just push straight through here, try and split the two armies. It's a risk, but it might be worth taking to try and change it up a bit. Spanish are still taking pretty heavy casualties here. Morale is also not looking great. Oh, this is a cool unit. Look at these guys. Look at their fancy helmets going on. Kind of remind me like firemen almost. Get a volley off these guys. They kind of look like dismounted cavalry. There you go, breaking infantry here. I mean, not breaking, but it looks like it's close to breaking. And it looks like that's been the story. Oh, there we go. That unit, that cool looking unit as well breaks. How dare you? How dare you? But yeah, I mean, the Spanish in the center are looking like a little bit like they're struggling. You see the artillery setting up well. I mean, this may be the area where the Spanish push, the French push, sorry. They have a few infantry units in reserve, light infantry here. The Les Invincibles as well. Gotta send them in. They are invincible, of course. We had Laguerre here as well, all weakened units, but they could push through the center here and maybe make a... This is where I'd maybe make my push, because the artillery is supporting. Hard to say, though. They need to get the rest of the French artillery up. I still like this one here. I mean, they could use it to maybe bombard this building, but I'd maybe push it up to the center here. This is where the battle's going to be won or lost. I'm surprised MacDonald didn't bring any artillery. Like, he could have done with one, maybe. Oh, he did, I think, didn't he? And he lost it really early on. He could really do with punching holes into it, but it seems like MacDonald is getting forced back. Cavalry on this flank now, really threatening the dragoons here, this police general. Yep, the French. Don't know, they've been stopped in their tracks right now with the Spanish. Stopped in their tracks. And they look like they're on the retreat. A little bit of fighting going on over here. It's still like dueling. It's not the only area where they are sort of still dueling now, the lines. French are probably thinking, oh, if only we had the old guard. The old guard would punch us through, get us the victory. But they're not here. They're not here to save you, Frenchies. You've got to go without them. Oh, I'm seeing Spanish cavalry in behind. Look at this. Spanish cavalry going in for Soult as well. This is huge. And the French general, they're being routed. And also, I think the French general on that far side has also been routed. Yeah, there you go. In a split second, we've had two generals died. One here, and then one all the way on the other side. This one not so much of a problem because the cavalry army was out of cavalry. But that general there, Soult dying, he has a whole corps that's still like not died, like it's not untouched, but it hasn't lost troops. Cavalry as well now going into the guns, routing them. The infantry here forming square, but can't save the guns. And there you go, just like that, the Spanish cavalry getting in behind has devastated a lot of French hopes there. And that is really, really important to the French. Well, to the Spanish and the French. The French now got to go, well, we've got to push. We've got to try and hope that they can break through. But without a general, morale is going to be low for some of these these French troops. But they've got to just keep pushing. They've got to keep pushing. You can see the lines here, they're going on and on. The blue line goes on and on. It's still looking healthy. Problem is, so is the Spanish one. The Spanish one equally looks pretty good. Usually in these battles we see the Spanish lines get absolutely destroyed by French. But it just seems as though the Spanish just know where to stay, where in range they need to be to stay out of danger. And right now the centre just keeps giving ground to the flanks. Kind of like stay a little bit more frayed out. It's just like just a little bit, like a bit of a crescent. You can sort of see it going on right now. There's a bit of a crescent going on here. Only a small one. But the French falling into it, And eventually you may see that they push in so deep that the Spanish can flank around. I mean, they're starting to do it now. You see infantry and cavalry coming around on the flanks. And it is threatening this French left right now. And MacDonald could find himself in a little bit of a situation. You see Soult send some troops out, some Laguerre here. He's instantly pulling them back. Not interested in supporting this now. There's cavalry here. Also, the Spanish artillery right now is also just destroying this French left, pouring fire onto it. And we're also seeing, looks like more Spanish cavalry going in here into the back lines. This is looking bad. Yeah, French here now in a whole load of trouble. I don't know if these guys can all form square, but yeah, they just put volleys into the Spanish cavalry, which is good. They're going to rout it, perhaps, but there is also Spanish infantry closing in on them. They need to turn around, otherwise the Spanish can get a rear volley, break a lot of these guys, including the beautiful Polish grenadiers. So there is already actually routing French here as well. Yeah, look at this. This is really, look at this. This crescent being formed up here. One volley from the Spanish could do a whole lot of damage to the French units. Morale looking like that. Breaking. Lots of these units already on red. Not looking good. One breaks there. Another volley. I mean, I just charge these guys. No one breaks. Charge the French. Just charge them. Bar the Grenadier. They're all, yeah, the French are going to charge. Here we go. Bayonet charge coming in. Grenadiers lead the way. In they go. Grenadiers should always lead the way. It's what they should do. It's their job. But I don't think they're going to be able to stop them yet. All these guys routed, and look at that. The French are like immediate right. Not their immediate right, but their extreme right, I'd say. Gone. Just like that. Really, that is really damaging. You can see the French now breaking off in different areas. And can the Spanish find gaps in the line now? Because it was a solid French line. Can they find gaps? Get in between. Cause some havoc, perhaps? Who knows? MacDonald and Soult over here trying to support. This is a very concentrated French line. This is, could work, maybe not. We'll have to see. I don't know. It's hard to say. French seem to have no answer right now to the Spanish. Dragged about. And all sorts of problems. Just having a quick look at the Poles again. I've just got, it's something about them. They look beautiful. They do. I don't know what it is. The uniforms, the hats. I mean, these ones don't even have the funny, cool looking hats. But now, obviously, all these Spanish units here that are now, I mean, some of the French are returning, but they're not really a threat anymore. They broken once. All these units here, the Spanish, they can just do their long march. They can march all the way up the back here and threaten the French. I mean, the French have got some reserves. More Polish grenadiers. I'm glad to see this. More Polish grenadiers. We need more Polish grenadiers in the game. But yeah, I mean, this might be the general here. I think Ray here is the general, combat general. It's like him, some Polish grenadiers, and that is all that's defending the rear. When those Spanish arrive, that's going to be a whole nother problem for the French that they can't deal with. Yeah, you can see. Look at this. The French really now falling into this crescent that they are, like the Spanish are forming up. The Spanish obviously in the center really stretched thin, but it's working. They are luring the French in, and they're surrounding them. And this is really exciting. I'm enjoying watching. I do enjoy seeing the French lose from time to time, but this is also just really like well expertise work here by the Spanish. I cannot, like, they're almost encircled. It's like a loose encirclement at this point, on this point, like around the back, but they are basically encircled the French, and they're in real trouble with destruction here. We're actually seeing Spanish cav push hard here. It's one of those elite looking ones by the looks of it. I don't know if it is, but these guys can't form square. The French, the Spanish need to charge. If they break this, they can cause more havoc. Come on, Spanish charge. Here we go. In they go, charging in. One of them formed square. This guy did not go. Whether he's, they're instantly getting out of there. They don't like that one uniform square. Kind of protected the other one. Yeah, the French morale not looking great. And you got to remember that Soult has died. He has been killed on the battlefield. He's probably glad he died at the point he did, because he's seeing his French army being surrounded. More elite looking Spanish cav here as well in the back lines. But yeah, I mean, this is scary right now for the Spanish. And for the French, sorry. And the Spanish have more infantry if they wanted to, that they're still looping around. Still got more guys to come in and help with this encirclement. Yeah, MacDonald not looking great now. His troops starting to break, and he's like the more fresher of the French armies. He's had a brutal time since he's joined the fight here. He's had a brutal time. Reform, boys! Give another volley! Give them another volley. Yeah, these grenadiers provisional. I hope to see them do a charge. I mean, they may be able to break out of this. Some of the French, like some of the areas where the French are being surrounded, are not that strong. They are definitely like break out. Like here, for instance, it's just some lights. It's just whether they can get close enough to them. Girard here. This might be a general. I don't know. Sometimes the unique like units are generals, but I don't think this one is. Doesn't really be throwing them forward just yet. Also here as well, another area the French could push out of. More Poles here. You can definitely tell. Sebastiani, he I think might be a general as well. Sebastiani is a very famous general. He fights lots of Napoleon's battles, mainly in Spain, but also in Germany. He was at Leipzig, leading some cavalry, mainly a cavalry corps. I can hear charging going on. Don't know where. Oh, the French are making a charge back here. We are seeing those provisional grenadiers go in. Can they break through? Can they break out? That's the question. I don't know. Morale's not looking great for these grenadiers. Yeah, they're going to break. For sure. Losing slightly. It's 188 of them. They look, oh, I don't know. Oh, they did. They won just about. But at what cost? The French are not winning in other areas. Poles here not doing that great. It's sad to see them do poorly. But yeah, these grenadiers are winning slightly actually over the charge. But the morale's not great. I don't know. The grenadiers going into combat. That's their bread and butter. They love it. There you go, you can see Spanish cavalry charging forward as well. They haven't broken another one, those grenadiers did. Well done by them. Seeing the Spanish cav come in, they're going in, they're going to go in after all sorts of infantry in the middle here. They cannot form square. Yeah, they're starting to cause chaos now. Here goes the chaos. More grenadiers breaking through. This is, looks like all caution has been thrown to the wind by both sides. I mean, the French, MacDonald here, really being forced back. This is like, look at the bodies. This is both French and Spanish fighting over this ground here. The French really pushing hard here, still thinking they have hope of breaking through. Lots of French being broken here, though, by the Spanish cav. Look at that, that's detrimental. That is chaotic. I mean, this Grenadiers finally been broken back here after taking down, what, 2 or 3 units of Spanish. Good for like a provisional unit. Really well done. If only had they more of these guys. They could have done so much work. Shame they can't form square though. More Spanish cav coming in here again, breaking the French. You imagine these guys can't form square. 100 odd men here are to be broken. 104, and they look like they're going to get a bit broken. That's not good. There you go, being broken just about the Spanish cav getting out of there, fancying other options. But now, as you can see, the Spanish right is almost annihilated. Well, I guess you can't even call it the Spanish right. This flank of the Spanish is annihilated the French right. And now the French, yeah, surely you can see their fate. It's not good. Die with honor, France. Go out in a blaze of glory. It's sad to see MacDonald's going to be dying here as well. I don't know if it's like, if he's a combat gen or what, if it's just his core being used. I haven't seen him. But it's sad to see him go if he does. Still got artillery over the French. They've still got an 8-pounder that they managed to keep safe. Not sure how, but they have. Yeah, I don't know where MacDonald is or what general it is. Might be this one here, Jean-Martin Petit. Might be him. Might be their combat gen. Again, you can hear more cavalry charging. I imagine it's charging the guns. Yeah, charging the guns straight away. And you can see the French being forced back on all fronts. And the Spanish, I mean, they've still got reserves, endless reserves. And the French can just even chop down into other areas. Poles here breaking really healthy numbers. And the French, I mean, they're just in a sandwich now. In a Spanish sandwich. with the French filling. Here comes the cavalry for another charge. I mean, this might be his last charge. They're charging head on into the French guns here. Getting gut down. Yeah, they might be about to break. The Poles here held strong. Yeah, they broke that cavalry finally. They're probably the French, sorry, are probably so relieved to see the Spanish cav break. It's been causing havoc all day. What a, like, it's paid off so well. They still have plenty of more cav back here. Healthy cav as well. These guys could probably go in for a charge. But yeah, this infantry on both sides just can gun them down. They need to form like 2 lines up and then just fight back to back. The French, yeah, just in a whole load of trouble. These French just desperately fighting. They're probably like, get us back to Paris. Get us back. We need the Emperor. He needs to be here. He needs to sort out this catastrophe that's happening in Gebora today. And as you can see, the Spanish are still really healthy. In a lot of areas, still really, really healthy. But yeah, this is not looking good. Spanish cav going in again, just going to rout what they can. Charging in. I don't know how many of these units can form square, but not a lot. Again, it looks like the Spanish cav actually seen off. And I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because it seems as though the French, I mean, we know what's going to happen with the French fate. It is very much decided. Line infantry here. About to die. And here we go. I mean, it's a chaotic ending for sure for the French. I'm sure these French players will be like, oh my gosh, what an ending. But I mean, in fairness, they are sort of like routing Spanish over here. I don't think they're going to be... this is going to save them because the Spanish cav coming in is still causing all sorts of problems. This Polish infantry here is now being routed. But yeah, it does seem as though the Spanish infantry, I mean, still giving ground. It's been the story of the game. The Spanish running away. French with the Polish light infantry, you know, is still holding. The Poles like, God damn it, we'll fight to the last man if we have to. You can see the Spanish line still arriving. We're just going to fast forward again. Again, the French now in this this pattern of running away. They're just running for their lives, and they're trying to avoid Spanish being destroyed by the Spanish. What a way to go! It's going to be brutal. But yeah, as you can see, the French now running for their lives, and it's been a fun battle, that's for sure. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's literally come down, well, to the last few minutes, really. The French has been pushing forward to no avail, no real gains, but it looks like they're going to be dying at the red line. This is a brutal way for the French to go out. Oh my gosh, still surrounded, by the way. But yeah, this is a brutal way for them to go out. I mean, we'll just get up the main map. You can see pinned right to the red line. This is expertise by the Spanish. So hats off to them. And I mean, yeah, they have done a really, really good job. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new here, and a comment to show your support. It does really help out the channel. If you want to get involved in some of these historical battles as well, feel free to join the Discord. The link's down below in the description. And yeah, we are just about to watch the final few moments of the French destruction. And here they go. I mean, this is the Les Invincibles. Not so invincible today. I don't think they were invincible in the last battle either. You just don't keep up to your name, guys. Really need to keep up to it. What else we got here? Some line infantry. Yeah, nothing exciting. But a brutal last way for them to go out. I don't really know where the French went wrong. I think, honestly, it may have just been a big cavalry fight. I mean, it wasn't a go wrong, but they made an offensive. It didn't really work. I don't think they should have made an offensive with their cav. Throwing it all away. I mean, they didn't throw it all away, but they lost it all. It was a big risk move. If they won that cav fight, they win the match. If the Spanish with that cav fight like they did, the Spanish win the match. And that was, I think, once they did that, it was a risk that just did not pay off. And then they sent in the cav for a second wave. Did not work. That Spanish cav that they brought was just really, really elite. You can see the Polish Grenadiers running for their lives. Please. Blessed boys, get out of here. Get out of here. You don't deserve to die. Are they going to charge? No, they're going to charge it instead. Brave fools. I hope you die with honor. But yeah, this French just like getting cut down on that far left flank. Looks like we're about to see. Yep, here we go. Polish Grenadiers, they're going in. Well, watch this, boy. These glorious men charge in. In they go. I don't think they're going to stop the Spanish. They have probably no morale. I mean, yeah, that was probably the big mistake, was just falling into the Spanish trap. Also the cavalry being thrown away. I actually did beat the Spanish. I don't think there'll be a second one, sure. Winning slightly, maybe they will. Don't know if they will if they're getting rear charged though, like this. Morale is not looking great, and there you go, broken. That's the side way you go. You see the Spanish now dividing the French army. They're going to get in between. Just charge these guys. Just charge them with your infantry. I don't know if you break them, but yeah, here they go. Maybe they will. Morale is not good. I mean, morale is just not good for the French now. There's no generals. Army losses probably didn't affect, seem like the amount of units rallying. Once like one unit routes, it always affects the units next to them. There you go, yeah. I'm also getting shot in the back right now, the French, as they fight in combat. Yeah, that's the left gone. The right and the centre still holding on, but not much. And this is it's a bold way for the French to go out. Well, it's not bold, but brave way for them to go out. At least they're all going to rout and run off the edge of the map. They can run away and get back to France, reform, and I'm sure they'll be back again. But yeah, imagine if this happened in history. I mean, if they routed like Soult's army here at Gebora, that would have changed massively the landscape of the Iberian Peninsula battle. Like, you may have seen like a much shorter Iberian like Peninsula war. It may have been that like, the British and the Spanish should have been first into France. You never know. It's hard to say what would have happened. I mean, there were probably other armies as well, and maybe it just would have meant that like the army facing Wellington would have had to send forces to the army of Soult. But I mean, yeah, it's hard to say what would happen, but it would have been entertaining, that's for sure. Seeing the last few charges here from the Spanish going in, doing what they can. They're actually breaking the Spanish here. They have so much. The Spanish aren't going to lose this one now. But yeah, as you can see, routing really quickly, knocking them out of the game. And the French, yeah, I mean, they're going to chain route probably very, very soon. I mean, they're just getting shot so much. They're just everywhere they run right now, they're just getting shot by something. The Polish Grenadiers returned, sorry. Just run, boys. Run for your lives. Get out of here. Back to Warsaw. Just say that this never happened. We'll forgive you, Poland. There you go. Line infantry gone as well. Now it's just the Polish Grenadiers. Of course. So how poetic. The Poles are the last to break in the French army. And there you go. A draw technically, but obviously it's a very much a Spanish victory in that one. So yeah, well done to Sniper Smith, to Flux, to Richard Lionheart, and to Said for winning that one. I mean, you can see there Flux with a huge amount of kills. Sniper Smith only had, I presume might have had a whole cavalry army himself, only getting 393 kills, but 700 men as well. So yeah, I think he might have had a whole cavalry army. They're sent in by Johnny Lord Buffoon, who was playing as the French cavalry army, only getting 300 kills with his 700 men. Well done to Mosley, to Arnlego, and to Chazok as well. All did a really good job as the French, but could just not do enough. But there you go. The Battle of Gebora has been won by the Spanish this time. History has been changed in another historical battle in Historical Week. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're on here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.